She remembered who she was, and the noise stopped mattering. Negativity comes dressed in many disguises: criticism, comparison, guilt, and the pressure to be everything to everyone. But for women, filtering it out isn't just a mindset. It's a revolution. It's choosing self-love over self-doubt, grace over guilt, and boundaries over burnout. You don't have to absorb every opinion or carry every weight. Your energy is precious, your voice is powerful, and your peace is non-negotiable. Let the world roar. You're tuned into something higher.
What do you consider as something negative? So like, what is something that happens and you're like, negative energy? No, not this.
Anything, personally, from my opinion, when you're talking about negativity, anything that doesn't align with my values or something that I want to achieve in my life in terms of my goals and my energy and frequency. That's something I always love and see if that aligns with my vibration is something I would consider as negative.
Okay, and how do you deal with people who are bringing on negativity to you?
I love that question, and it really takes me back in time when I used to come across people and be like, oh, well, yeah, this person is negative. They just have a lot of negativity around. But now, one thing I found, negativity is not bad. The thing is, when we say that person is negative, there is a very natural component that comes of hate and trying to avoid that person. There has been a switch in my perspective where now I see that person from a compassionate side. And I have more compassion for that person. Well, there's a reason why they're negative. I don't have to reconcile and be in their company, of course, but at the same time, I can wish them well.
How do you make a balance between wishing them well, but also prioritizing your own health?
As we talk about repeatedly about the boundaries, boundaries are the key. And knowing when you really have to step out is when you keep your power in. Remaining balanced and composed regardless of, I don't know what kind of analogy I can use here. But if someone is sending you out some energy, now is your choice. Do you want to take that energy? Or do you want to create your own shell and be like, I'm there, here's my presence, but I'm not going to consume. Okay, well, yeah, this actually reminds me of an analogy.
Yeah.
You see a person lying on a bed, unwell. Now you look at this person. Would you go and lie on a bed just next to that person and be like, you are unwell? I'm also unwell today. Would you do that?
No.
Nobody would, right? It's the same way with negativity. Instead of going, sometimes, the person's negative and be like, hey, you were bad, you didn't do this well, I'm just annoyed. We also catch that energy and we literally sink down to that level, and then we have that interaction and then we leave drained and exhausted. That's the exact same analogy, that the person was lying on the bed and you also went and lied down just next to the person. Instead of that, can we walk up, offer some fruits to the person who's lying on the bed? And when I say fruits, you don't have to purchase chocolates and be like, hey, here's a gift for you or something to drive away your negativity. But can you be there just with your mere presence? Absolute conscious presence. Because when you're responding with a sense of presence, first thing, you're not falling into your unconscious pattern of behaving. You won't sink to that level of energy. You still stay on your plane of energy. And that is where the person, it's more like, I raised my voice, I yelled at you. Now, you can fall into your unconscious pattern and start yelling at me and start cursing me. Or you can stay conscious and present and choose not to respond, or respond in a way that you deem appropriate. That is the level of presence. And in your presence, I'll feel like my ego would feel like, well, why isn't she responding to me? It's not about being passive. It's about choosing your response.
Yeah, I mean, typically people who are negative, let's say, when you react to them, you're just fueling their negativity.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they want.
Exactly,
right?
because it's the unconscious need of the ego, fuel me in, give me that attention, I'm craving your attention. Now, if I do not, but I stay present, I'm here if you want to talk about, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to respond to that level or that vibration. This is the boundary that you assert.
How do you think we can differentiate negativity and constructive criticism that is typically rooted in misogyny?
Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, so like, let's say in a workplace, a woman could be getting a lot of negativity because simply of the fact that she's a woman. They're like, oh, you're taking too long to do this, or you need to be more assertive, you need to be more this. How can we differentiate? There's constructive criticism, which is helpful. Sometimes we all need it, and then there's flat out negativity, and which is what is rooted in misogyny. How can we differentiate these two?
Well, you need to know the difference between whenever you receive a criticism and what does constructive criticism even mean in the first place. Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, constructive criticism, everyone is talking about, trendy word, hyped word. Do you know the difference? Do you really understand? And whenever there is a criticism, say for instance, if I have to give you critical feedback, it's about the act. It's about your behavior. Well, you gave me a piece of writing and I'll be like, well, we could have written it in that way. And I gave you a feedback, which can be critical. Or I can say, absolutely shitty person. Who even gave you this job of writing? Now, that is not constructive criticism, because now I'm criticizing the person in front of me, not the work they did, not the act they indulged in. So when we talk about constructive criticism, even in workplace as women, we need to know, is that criticism directed towards the work or towards my character?
Yeah. How do you think us as women can learn to filter this negativity without losing our sense of empathy or sensitivity? It's like we're always deemed as like over emotional, which I find stupid. But anyways, we're not going to go into that. But how do you think we can learn to filter this negativity without necessarily being cold?
For me, I would say it's of course a hard task to achieve, but if you find something which is draining and exhaustive, and of course a criticism on your piece of work will definitely never be exhausting for you, but if it's exhausting in terms of your personality, in terms of your persona, in terms of your character, in terms of the background and the person you are, then you don't have to lose. Some people are like, oh, well, if this person tells anything about my parents, I'm gonna just show them my worst side. Yes, people are that way, and I do understand, but you need to realize that your reaction is only fueling what they wanted to get out of you. You can have people, I've had someone commenting about my parents and my grooming and my upbringing repeatedly, not once. And of course, it wasn't like I couldn't have argued back. I could have, for sure. And I was under an authority position, person who was in the position of authority was doing this. So of course, there was some power dynamics involved here. But over time, I realized, well, I didn't react the way the person wanted me, or I didn't yell. And that bestowed a lot of patience in me to understand that they are in their disturbed state of mind yet. And once you learn not to react but to respond, you better choose your response in any situation that comes forth. It's up to you. You want to catch the black ball which is coming right in front, or do you want to let it drop, and then you want to choose where do you want to take that ball.
I really like what you said about responding versus reacting, because they are two very different things. Reacting, you don't think, you just immediately, which happens sometimes. When I'm fighting with my sister, I react.
Most of the times, it happens with a lot of people, including me.
Unfortunately, but I think in workspaces, it's important to respond. And unfortunately, as women, we have something more to prove, in society, and responding is just a better look, or else tear down if we react. You know, immediately, oh, you know, that's just how women are. They overreact. Even if it's a valid reaction about something terrible that happened, it's not going to be taken seriously just because of the way you acted.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if the genders were reversed, it would have been completely fine.
Oh, 100%.
But regarding this, I want to ask you, how can filtering negativity be a collective act we do for each other in a feminist community?
Can you tie this down for me a bit?
Yeah, so, you know, I think as a woman, we've all faced, like, you know, misogyny and just being, you know, given crap for literally just being a woman. How do you think we can use this negativity given to us by society to come together as a community more?
Love that. I think anytime any negativity or any challenges that we come across, your ability to transform your challenge into your power is the actual key. And for me personally, I did that. I could either victimize myself throughout my entire life of having been a victim of abuse, or I could have just transformed into power and emerged out even stronger from the ashes. So when we talk about negativity specifically, know that regardless of whatever prevails outside, you can be in the shittiest atmosphere around, but if your inner state is peaceful, nothing can shake you. It's more like you can be a tree in the storm and still stay strong and stay there. Or you can be the weakest tree who's easily shaken and you can literally fall off because of the storm. And that's exactly with the women.
Yeah.
All starts with yourself. All starts with your inner state. I'm not saying, yes, I 100% agree in the formative years, you do not have much say in the terms of the grooming that you receive, in terms of the opinions that you receive, in terms of the self-worth that is formed for you.
Yeah.
And you cannot just stay throughout life blaming the people who groomed you for the person you become. It's ultimately your responsibility to heal your inner wounds rather than projecting onto the other person's, taking into your relationships, doing it with your own kids. You're just messing it up.
Yeah.
So instead of that, well, go work on your healing part and become that tree who's strong enough to stand in the storm, regardless of because negativity is going to come your way. Either this way or that way, wherever, in relationships, in your professional workplace, in terms of your own mind, which is going to be critical towards you.
Yeah.
Well, where are you going to save this negativity from? Where can you really hide? You cannot. It's going to show up.
Yeah.
So always my suggestion is to work on your inner state of being, to be so damn confident about yourself. It's not about being narcissistic. Narcissism has more to do with, I love myself, but I don't love anyone. I don't give a shit about anyone else. When you're filled with love doesn't have anything opposite. Love has everything to just, I'm filled with love and all I have to give is love.
I think I love that. I really do. And I love that you brought up this, being called a narcissist, because people don't know what narcissist means, and it bothers me so much.
It's such a trendy concept.
A narcissist has very specific conditions, okay? Yeah. It is, someone who decided to take a day off to, take time for their mental health is not a narcissist. Okay, a narcissist has no empathy. Let's start there.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's start there.
Yes.
So let's stop throwing around the word narcissism. It's not the same thing at all. Better to use selfish than narcissism.
It's more like, the ADHD, OCD concepts which have become so trendy, and we start assigning those roles.
I can go on and on about that. But no, exactly. I think, this concept of negativity is also, we're so used to accepting negativity because self-compassion is so frowned upon somehow. Yeah. Because it's like, you want to work on yourself while you're selfish. Why is it so wrong to work on yourself? No one else is going to do this for you.
Exactly. No university degree, no course teaches you. You have to. That's what I said.
Exactly.
It's easier to blame your parents. That because of you, I'm such a broken piece of shitty person that I've become, and I have all these issues, and because of that, I'm just having all these medications. Now is your time to really work on your healing. Yeah. Or keep blaming your parents. They did whatever they could with the resources they had. Now's your turn.
Blaming someone else is always easier
Yeah,
than
it's definitely.
owning up to your responsibility, for sure. And I also think social media has made it such a trendy concept to be like, oh, well, I have mommy issues, well, I have daddy issues, and people just want to stay there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's no longer something unfortunate happened, I was raised this way, yes, it's upsetting, but I want to work on myself. No, it's more become of a joke. It's like, oh, well, I behave this way because of this, which I find so irritating and frustrating, because you're just keeping yourself trapped in a bad state of mind.
100%.
I'm going to ask you this one last question. What is something you personally do after you have a negative experience? How do you, recenter yourself? Because I'm sure it happens every day. You can't control people, right? So what is something you do that could maybe help other people who are having negative experiences?
Love that question. I think more than other people, sometimes it's my own mind which targets me. And whenever that happens, I know I've fallen into the unconscious pattern. So what is unconscious pattern here is my mind is talking things which are not based in reality. Oh, you messed up this work. Remember the last time also you messed up? And remember when you were a child and in this class, so-and-so year, you did this and everyone laughed at you? This is the unconscious pattern. Yeah. Now, bring in your presence, bring in the now. You know what's one thing that you can control in this life? Your breath.
Yeah.
Once you get in tune with your breath, you're back to your consciousness. And once you are in an utter state of consciousness, those thoughts will fade away. They just pass. So is with negativity. You cannot stop things coming in, but you can have a filter and your absolute conscious presence, because darkness cannot survive in